Dino. Say hi, everybody. This is Dino.
He's about as thrilled to be here as we are.
No, he's not happy. So the market.
Yeah, let's hear it, Michelle. You got your opinion.
April
Come on now.
2024. So we still have not a lot of inventory, and people are still scrambling to find properties, multiple offer, highest and best. And I've heard some things on the news that interest rates might go up. That's the thing that which is not good. But, I mean, if you can afford to buy something right now, you should still buy it anyway. Because you could always refinance down the road.
Yeah. Wonderful, Michelle. That's what I'm talking about. Right there.
Right. So if you can't afford something, we can find you something. That's great.
Yes. And don't be afraid.
Well, people are living in fear right now with a lot of things. But
well, of course, but we're not going to get on that subject because good Lord.
No,
we be having trouble. People be calling in, writing in, whatever the hell they're doing. I'm not going now.
Yeah, it's fine. We're not talking about that.
No. But, all right, so you think it's going to go up and then it'll go down?
Well, it's a volatile market right now, so I'm not sure, but they're saying that, well, because it's an election year, things are unpredictable, I guess you could say.
All right, so we're elaborating on that it's going to go up and then maybe it'll go down and then we don't know what's going to happen after that. We don't know if we're going to get more inventory. We don't know what's happening.
Well, inventory, they're starting to say that people are starting to list more of their properties. So inventory is going to, they think that people are going to start listing more of their properties and then we'll have more inventory, which would be great. But there are some things happening with the NAR settlement, which I have to do a video on that, but
okay.
The NAR settlement is basically the attorneys were trying to tell people that they could, if they felt like they were paying a buyer's agent and they didn't want to pay the buyer's agent,
right?
That they were going to do this lawsuit, right? And a class action lawsuit against your realtor. So they're saying that...
you one of them?
No.
Well, thank God for that. See, we are a good company.
They're saying the interest rates they're not negotiable, which is not true.
Right.
Because we have been going by a code of ethics forever. Yeah. And it's always been, we're not even allowed to talk about, it's illegal for us to talk about percentages. Because every deal is different. Every client is different.
Of interest rates?
No. Of our commission.
Of commission, exactly. Well, you said interest rates first. That's
sorry, okay, let me correct it.
Commission.
So commissions are negotiable.
Yes, I read that.
Have been negotiable. There's no set commission, although people get in their head thinking that it's like a set rate. It's not a set rate. So.
No, but is there a cap?
No, there's no cap.
There's no cap either. Okay, great.
There's no cap on it. Listen, attorneys can charge whatever they want, right? Yeah. There's no caps to them. They're making $80 million on this North settlement.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
And the funny thing is, the homeowners that are involved in this are getting $21.
That is America.
I'm going to shut up. But yeah, so there's a lot. There's
basically,
a lot more to
it's a bunch of bullshit is what you're saying. It's a bunch of bullshit. The whole commission thing and what is being told to people.
All of the turmoil and what people they're getting misinformation from the media.
Right.
So.
And if they don't read it and just go with it, then they're going to be like everybody else.
Well, not only that, they're listening to what people are saying. You're like, oh, there'll be no more commission. You don't have to pay commissions will be slashed. No, that's not true. That's not going to happen.
Right. Well, what the hell? Then why be a realtor?
Well, right. But that's
isn't that a job title? It's a job title. So if you're doing a job, you should get commission now.
You should get paid, right? You're an attorney, you get paid. You're a doctor, you get paid.
You're a schmuck like me, you get paid. Everything.
Painter, you get paid.
Right. All of that.
Right. When you work, you get paid. And so we are professionals in this business. Right. It's not like,
if you don't perform, I could see somebody getting upset. Yes. And then, but there's ways.
There's good and bad attorneys, good and bad doctors, good and bad anything. And
right.
Whatever. There's good and bad realtors, obviously. But we're a profession and, we take, well, I know I take it. And, there's a lot of us that take it very, very seriously. Very, we are a service-oriented company. Mm-hmm. And, as a real estate agent, realtors are service people for their clients.
That's right.
And it's just a shame because people have a hard enough time with realtors as it is. They think they shouldn't get a commission. I can sell the house on my own.
Right.
Okay, well, you can sell your house on your own. Yes, you can. But you don't know everything you think you know, and you don't
Which is why they got you.
Right, but if you don't do it all the time, it's not your job. You don't know what you're doing. You learn it as you go. It's not that people, you want to do it for sale by owner, that's fine. But,
Well, I'd have the question is if you're going to do it on your own when you want to be paid for it.
Well, people that do it on their own, they think they're saving money.
Wow.
But that's not really true.
They're not saving money. They're spending more money and it's more time.
It's their time. They don't understand what they're doing, but they're not saving money. It's actually a statistic where, I can't remember the number, but there's a certain percentage more that you get if you go with a real estate agent. You got to remember, we're marketers.
Yes.
Our real job
and you're
is
going to
marketing.
fight for the best possible scenario for your client.
Right.
I believe that.
Well, yes, we're working in the best interest of our clients, which sometimes, they don't get that. Like, we're working for them.
Right. And then you get, certain people want to wait. Do I have to go get this permit right now?
Well, these are the things that people don't realize that we do, right? There's other things that we do that, homeowners don't understand. Like, if you put a new
furnace.
Right. A new boiler or something that you had to replace. Did you know that you need to have a permit for that?
Yes. And if you don't, guess what? The realtor, like Michelle, who goes above and beyond, will go with you to go make sure that you get it.
Right, but not every real estate agent will do that.
No, but I'm glad that you do that because everybody else is walking around with like the freaking heads cut off. What do I do? Who do I see?
Well, see, these are the things. If you're for sale by owner, these are things you don't realize that will hold up the sale of your property because you didn't have the proper COs in the beginning for things that you might not have realized that you needed to do. Like the hot water heater that might have went on the weekend.
Yes.
And you don't realize that, you're going to fix that, but you need a building permit for that, depending on the town you're in. And most towns now, you need to have a building permit for the new install.
Right, because those laws have changed a lot too.
Right.
And every town is different.
It's New York State that really tells the towns what they have to.
Right, but in towns and cities, everything is different. Every town, every city is different. So you don't know if you're living in A and they're going to ask you for this, or you're living in B and you don't need it for that.
Right. Well,
that's what we got you for.
Well, that's what we try to stay up on. These are the things that, as a professional in my business, that's something that I pride myself in knowing or trying to find out for my clients. Not everybody does that. So they'll tell the owner just to go out themselves and see if they have proper COs on stuff in their house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I will go with my clients, especially if they're older. They've been in the house for a long time, years.
Yeah.
And they're looking to move, looking to sell. They might have changed things, upgraded things, and didn't realize that they needed to have, the proper permits and the CO on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? The people don't realize that you have a title search that's going to be run on your property when you sell it. And that title search is going to include running the municipal search to see if, they're going to look at your property card.
Right.
See what's on it. You say you have a 4-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms and there's 3 bathrooms there.
Oops.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
We had to put another one in because Johnny just keeps using both bathrooms all the time. I don't know what's wrong with his stomach. Whatever other excuse they're going to come up with. But that's why they should have somebody like you, Michelle, because
Well, this is why we get frustrated as real estate agents, that people don't respect what we do sometimes,
Right.
It's more than, there's a lot of behind the scenes things. Like, we have relationships that we have like with people like you that will prep the house.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has that. They're like, what do I do? I don't know what to do,
And a lot of realtors don't have those connections either.
Well, because they don't choose to create that camaraderie of, right? Like, working with other people to say, listen, this is what I'm going to offer my clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to list the house, we have to get it prepped. We have to make sure that there's certain things done. You want to get the most money out of your house, you're going to have to paint it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to clean it up. You're going
to have to paint it, get your shit out, whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that go into it, and people don't realize that, and they...
Make it presentable for potential buyer.
Right.
They don't want to see you crap. They don't care.
No. But this is where, you have helped me with a lot of prepping to get to that point.
That's what we're here for, Michelle. We're helping each other.
That's right.
In this crazy freaking world that we live in right now, we're helping each other.
Yes.
And we're meeting all these wonderful people.
You. And she is really one of the best, good-hearted contractors that there are out there.
Thank you. Well, I have to say
It's
that
the
about you
truth.
too, considering that I know a lot of realtors. You happen to be the same.
Well, yeah, and I appreciate
You're
that.
different. You're different than a lot of them. You know, because you do go above and beyond. I have to ask you, myself, do you have any clients that stick out the most in your head, like that you've like developed this bond with them, or they did something really like crazy way back in the day, and you just continue to like reach out to them or whatever?
Yeah, of course.
You gotta have some good stories,
I have
Michelle.
some good stories. I just can't remember a lot of them.
Oh, come on now. You ain't that old.
I do have some good stories. I have to think about it, but
It could be funny, sentimental, you know, whatever.
I
Fun.
have created some good bondings with, some clients that, like, I still talk to. Like this one family, I gotta tell you, I had this one family that, I started was a referral for one of the daughters, one of the sisters to all these siblings, and I sold every single one of their family's house every year since the first sale, which was like maybe 2013 or something like that.
Nice.
I sold every single one of their family members something, or listed it, sold it, got a new house. The family was pretty big, but it was pretty funny. Like, they kept calling me. They're great. I just love them, and so.
And you keep in touch with them now?
Yes. Yep.
No. All right. How you have any funny freaking ones that stick out? Like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this just happened.
Oh yeah, but I gotta think about it.
Way back in the day.
Let me think.
We're not mentioning any names here, people.
I can't think of anything funny though.
Oh, come on, Michelle, please. There's got to be somebody out there who brings your freaking...
There's a few. There's quite a few things that have happened. I mean,
that you just can't make it up, is what I'm saying. Like, you run into this client and
I should write this stuff down, because there's a lot of things that I can't make up.
Right. And when you look back at it now, you're like, I cannot believe that actually just freaking happened. Like, oh my God, here we are with this whole shit show in front of us, and they have no idea what's going on. I love that. That kind of stuff gets me going.
Well, that actually just happened to one of my clients that we were trying to sell a house for.
Oh.
So me and the attorney were going back and forth trying to solve a problem without the client even knowing. And then we get to the closing table and tell them, so by the way, we took care of this for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even realize that. I don't think they appreciate that. We go through the stress of trying to get to the closing table. We try to work it out before. There's always a solution, right? There's always something that we've got to find a solution.
Oh, well, you have to. Yeah. Listen, meeting all the different kinds of people that we meet, there always has to be some kind of solution for each individual. I believe this.
I got a good thing to tell you. This was something.
Oh, here it comes. I know it's coming.
So when I first became a real estate agent, almost 20 years ago, 20-some years ago.
Good God.
I was showing houses I was a buyer's agent for this particular couple.
Mm-hmm.
And, we used to, I remember, when I first started real estate, they had books you would actually look through, and then you'd have to use a map to map out where you were going and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because we didn't have none of this freaking technology bullshit.
I remember that. I was like really new when they first, and then we ended up getting the computer stuff. But anyway, I make an appointment to show this property, right? This is before we had this thing called showing time, where you could just go on the computer and click it and make an appointment. You had to call the office, make the appointment. They told you however the access was to the house.
And this is like one of your first thing? Yeah. So you're a virgin of this whole thing.
Yeah.
You're the virgin realtor going in on the blind.
One of my first showings. So I remember the house. It was a little creepy, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
of course, somebody freaking...
I knock on the door. Nobody answers. So, look, I usually knock to make sure nobody's...
But did it have a lockbox and everything?
There was a lockbox.
Oh, all right. Thank God. Well,
so
you didn't know about 20 years ago.
I take out the key. Yeah, we had lockbox.
All right, creak.
We take out the key.
It was creaking.
It was. So I open the door, and we walk in, and it's dark, right? And the lights, like when you go to hit a light switch, and there's no light, like there's another. It's like, so the rooms were kind of dark, didn't have light bulbs in a lot of. I remember this because I was like.
And you didn't bring a flashlight, right?
Nah, because back.
We didn't have our phones, remember?
Right.
So what are we looking at?
Like
so what are we looking at? Can't call 911 because we ain't got nothing.
So I remember going up the stairs, and I walked down the hallway, and I'm trying to
are
hit
you
the
hearing
lights.
music?
No, I didn't hear anything. Hit the lights, whatever. Opened a door, and it like smelled in the room. I remember that. It was dark, so the people they looked at it, whatever. So we go down to the next room, and all of a sudden, I go into we're in the master bedroom, and all of a sudden there's water running in the shower.
Get out. And
And
it's
I was like,
we're in the house of the shining.
I was like, wait a minute. There's supposed to be nobody here. There's whatever.
Oh,
Somebody's
did they come
in the
out naked?
shower.
Did they come out naked?
Just about.
Oh, good God. I would have freaking lost my shit. I would have been
we-
like, hello, you need to put your towel on.
I immediately was like, okay, we got to get out of here. We just got to get out of here. And I don't think they liked the house anyway. Thank God. So
Did they ever come out, the people in the towel?
they were about to come out, and I was just like, let's just get out. I didn't.
Oh, my God.
I
So
was
you
a
didn't
new
even
agent.
say
I didn't know
hello?
what to say. No, I was like, let's just go. Let's
Michelle,
just go.
how rude. You're interrupting these people's shower, and here you are. Let's go, people. Let's get out.
Listen, I was a new agent. It was scary for me. It was.
And what would you do if that happened today?
I'd be like, hello, we're here.
Yeah.
I'm like, oops, sorry.
Knock on the door. Don't come out naked if you don't want to see it.
Now I would handle it totally different. But, back then, first of all, when you're first showing houses and you're a young agent, it's awkward going into people's houses.
Of course.
You're like,
Do you ever feel like that now?
never.
Never. What about with the people that you're with? You ever feel awkward with them now? You're just
depends
walking
on the
around and you're
people.
like, oh, we can't do this.
What do you say?
You're having that awkward moment with them.
Well, I have.
You gotta feel it, Michelle. I've had people I've
listen.
been awkward with. Yes.
Sometimes when I meet, first of all, when I meet a client for the first time, whenever I meet somebody, I always have somebody with me.
Okay.
So
That's a good thing.
I always do that. And I don't leave them in the car, but as long as they know somebody's with me.
Right. Exactly.
But, when I was younger, I didn't do that.
Of course not. Would you have maids? What,
Stupid,
would you...
you don't know. No, you don't think anything like that, right? But now I think that.
Well, that's
Definitely.
because 20 years ago to now, it's a big freaking time
Life was
change.
different.
We went to Back to the Future and forward and all that shit 10 times.
Yes, life was definitely different back then. But I have had awkward situations with clients when I first meet them. And if I don't get a good feeling from them, I will just not work with them anymore.
All right. How about the creepy ones, though, Michelle? I mean, how'd you come across, some that are, just so the hell out there?
Yeah, there's people that, yeah.
And then, here you are with your freaking fishing pole, man, and you're like, come on back.
I remember this, now that you're saying that, these were the weirdest people that I ever had. They were from somewhere upstate. And they were younger than me. Mm-hmm. But they were really
hippie.
Yeah.
I love that.
Really hippie.
You should have brought your tambourine. I would have brought my tambourine. I would have gotten the music playing. I would have been like, yeah, I am your realtor and we're gonna sell you some shit today.
Yeah, they were really hippie. And it was weird for me to see that because
flower power.
Yeah, but you gotta remember we grew up in the 70s, so
Yeah.
we were around hippies,
Yeah, well, this is if you're getting nervous about it. They might have been extreme hippies or something.
But they were, we grew up in the 70s. We were around hippies.
Best time.
Right. People were cool back then, whatever.
Yeah.
But these kids, they were younger and there was just something off. It was just, I can't put my finger on it to tell you what it was. But it was, when you just meet somebody and you're like, there's just something not right here.
Most of the time, it's psychiatrists for me. But no offense to some.
So I was showing this couple some houses, and I just got this gut you're just not gonna sell them a house.
And you
just not. There's something. And you know what? I was kind of glad because I showed them a couple times, and then I just they just fizzled away.
They fizzled. Yeah, they did. They went back to Woodstock and jumped in the mud.
They just stayed.
They jumped in the mud.
But I was kind of glad, though. I have to say, not to be working with them. You can usually tell. Look, you attract people that are like you, right? Like if people watch me on.
Oh God! Don't tell me that because there ain't nothing that I've attracted that's like me in a long time. I'm thinking to myself, where the hell are you people coming from right now?
Oh, they referrals for you.
I understand, but what kind of referral is this?
They're all good. They're all good.
They are good, but people just...
Well, the mindset's a little different nowadays. It's just,
No,
you
I
gotta
could go
turn off
back,
the
Michelle.
TV.
I could go back and it was still like that.
Well,
There must be something on me that says, Lulu's come here first, and then we'll talk about it later, right? And I do the same thing you do. I screen them, and they're all wonderful. And I'll be there for a long time until they get to know me. Then it's like, really? Like,
then they want to be your best friend.
They do, but sometimes it's just too much information sometimes. Like, sometimes it's just too
Here's
much.
the line, don't cross it.
I remember working at this house. This is going way back. And she was a psychiatrist. This is why I get nervous whenever there's somebody who's a psychiatrist and her husband was an architect. This is a long time ago. Money, of course. Okay. So, I'm on the ladder, and she comes up behind me, which is not a good thing to do, because I have my music going.
Oh, on the ladder?
But I was on a little ladder, so it was okay.
Okay.
And I feel this little tap.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding me right now? So I turn around, and she says, Dawn, dear, I wish you could stay here all night and paint, but you can't. Because it's time for me and my husband to have a sexual encounter.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a freaking shrink. I looked at her, I said, and of course, I've never been told this. There's been many excuses, but not that. I looked at her, I said, excuse me? She's like, yeah, we don't want you here when we're going to be in the bedroom. And if you saw these people, you'd be like, you don't want to be here if you're going to be in the bedroom. So I was like, great, I am out of here. Yes.
But Dawn, you don't paint at night, so this was the middle of the day?
This was when I was painting at night. I was painting at night. So, but it was not late. It was like 7 o'clock, and I'm ready. I'm going. I'm ready to go till like 11, trying to bang this thing out. In the meantime, they trying to bang. And I'm like, here we are.
TMI, I do not need to know that, right?
Michelle, what do I do?
So
Now,
I
looked at her professionally. I looked at her professionally. I with the straight of a face as I could, and it was hard. Absolutely. I said to her, that's what you guys are going for? I'm right there. I said, I'm getting my shit, and I'm getting the hell out of here.
I would have never went back.
I had to go. I was in the middle of something. I go back the next day, it was like nothing happened. This is how these psychiatrists work. You didn't hear from them? Her husband got a big grin on his face because I'm coming back. He's upstairs and he's all like, because he got some last night. I don't care.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't need to know that.
So that was a piece of work right there. That was my worst.
I would never have gone back.
The money was good, Michelle.
I would have felt, I would have felt a little creepy about that and been like, nah, okay, listen, you know what? I'm your painter. Like,
but we're
you
talking.
hired me to do this job. I'm trying to finish the job. You knew the time I was going to do it.
Yes, but these people just love to tell me sometimes too much. And most of the time I'm okay with it. That one caught me off guard.
I don't need to know any of that.
Right, it caught me off guard though, Michelle. And for me to say that, that's a big deal because I was just minding my business.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't even know what to say after that.
No, but it was good times. I mean, I look back now and I crack up because I can still see her. And her facial expressions and her whole, like, persona and everything about what was going on. And, wow. So, at that point, I just wanted to get in the car and just think about it less because I'm like, that's going to make me throw up.
Yes. TMI, people, there are certain things professional people don't need to know about you.
But that's why I said in the last one, it's almost like being a bartender sometimes because after a while, they just don't care. They just want to tell you. They want to be heard.
Yeah, but you know what?
So bad.
I think because you're with them longer than I am.
Yeah, they want to be heard so bad about what they're doing and how excited they are. I mean, they weren't young spring chickens either. I mean, we're talking about,
Right.
They weren't old either. They were kind of in between.
Right. No, I understand.
But if they're going to be knocking the boot, I don't need to know about it.
I don't either.
All right, because I'll be sitting here rolling away, minding my business.
Yeah,
You know, but so that was one of them. That was one that always will forever stick out in my head.
Oh, I've been creeped out.
Oh, yeah. It was just, that was a good time. And I finished the job, of course, but, you know, wasn't weird afterwards because we just acted like that whole conversation just never happened.
Right.
I follow their lead. That's what I do.
Right.
They want to come back and share some more with me about their wonderful evening. I will stand there and probably listen.
Oh, I would not.
But don't get into too many details.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
You know?
No.
I would ask you to have a good time.
Nope.
You know, I'm glad you had a good time. Right? I would say that. I would say that you have a good time. I'm glad you had a good time. To each their own. I don't give a shit. You're getting it. I'm not. I'm happy. For you.
I would be like, we need to pray for you. Yeah, no. Okay.
You know, and then I wonder if they're still alive.
That's crazy.
I wonder if they're still alive. That's the one thing I thought of too. Like,
how long ago was that job?
This was good 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to have been at least in their 60s. I don't know if they're still alive or not. If they even still live in the house, I don't know. Don't know.
God bless them.
Don't know.
Well,
I hope they're still banging though, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay. That was the story.
More power to them. You know, and then you get the ones that, you know, make you laugh and not even try to make you laugh. I remember those ones. You know, like one of my recent clients. Pull a Lucy and Ethel.
Well, that's kind of cool, though.
And decide that they're going to change their own doorknobs. And the doorknobs have locks. So they get to the first door, and one's on the outside, one's on the inside, the way it should be. Doorknob works great. Gonna go to the other sister's room now, and we're gonna freaking put that doorknob on.
Oh,
Well, here's the problem. We're both on the inside.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So I pull up because they know I'm coming, and I've got two of them hanging out the freaking window, throwing keys and whatever because they're screaming they can't get out. They've been stuck in here. They don't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, you're locking it up like Alcatraz. I ain't got the freaking key. What are we doing? So they're throwing keys at me. I'm trying to get in. None of these keys are working. My keys don't work. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to go home. I got to get my ladder. I got to climb up there, get one of them down, and then we can get this all set. But I was like, let's see what other keys they got. So they just keep throwing them out the window. So I go into the garage, and finally I freaking break in without a key. And they're yelling and screaming in there, blah, 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 blah. I take my time, Michelle. I take my time. I put my coffee down. I'm taking my coat off. You know, I'm getting my stuff situated for the day. They're still yelling in there. They have no idea that I'm in. I see the doorknob in the hallway.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Walk down the hallway. You guys good? Oh, you're here? Beep, beep, beep. More, you know, nonsense. I freaking put the doorknob in. Turn it. And these two yo-yos are in there freaking almost pissing their pants. They come running out like freaking herds of buffalo. They have to go pee.
How long were they stuck in there?
I have no idea. I don't want to know. But I looked at both of them and I said when they came out, we're not touching these doorknobs no more. I will put the doorknobs on for you. So I put the doorknob on for that one and I will do the rest of them.
That was a DIY fail.
Okay? I'm like, what in the fuck are we doing to people? You had to really. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what people are thinking. Why are you both in here?
The thing we're not thinking.
But it was some funny shit. You would have enjoyed that. You would have enjoyed that. I couldn't figure out what the hell they did. But whatever.
That's funny.
Yep. And then we get the tearjerker, like the sentimental one. Do you ever get any of those? Oh, God, I hate it.
Yes. Well, I don't mind it. It's just, you know, like a lot of times it's like if somebody's widowed or lonely people or they're sentimental and they have to sell their house or
yeah.
You know, they're moving away for.
Do you ever get interviewed
Yes.
for being a realtor?
Yes.
Don't you love that moment? I love that when they like ask, you're trying to feel them out.
Yeah.
And they're interviewing you.
Yes.
How often, Michelle? I mean, does anything stick out where you've been asked a question and you're like, what is going on? Like, it's a question that you really want to know from them, but now they're throwing it back at you, and you're like, whoa.
Right. Like, how do I market or something?
Yeah, well, anything. I don't care what it is.
Well, I have to tell you though, a lot of my clients, a lot of them are referrals, and
Yeah.
so they know me already. So they already know that I'm not being interviewed. I'm just kind of, meeting them, and they're going to use me regardless to sell their house.
Well, that's nice, Michelle. That's nice. I don't get that luxury.
So I don't get like, competitive. Sometimes I don't get a lot of,
It's not
where people are like, oh, I'm
competitive.
going to interview like 3 realtors or something.
No, it's not really competitive. Like, I go back and I remember somebody had gotten my name. I don't even remember who the frig gave these people my name. They wanted a referral, so I gave them one of my houses that I was cleaning. This was off of cleaning for a while. Okay. So she calls me and I gotta clean her house. All right. She sits me down. I'll never forget this. Sits me down in the freaking dining room. Do you want something to drink? No, thank you. I'm good. Now I'm trying to freaking feel her out now because I don't know her. She's doing the same with me, right? Well, I get this question now. How would you describe yourself to be different than any other house cleaner, who does this? Are you freaking kidding me right now?
What's that have to do with cleaning?
Right. Like, she wants to get an idea of me as a person. Well, that's pretty freaking deep right now. So now I'm like, oh, I better have my coffee. I better bring my coffee in. Hold on, I'm going to go to the car. I'm going to get my coffee. I better come back here. I'm like, wow. All right. So I sit down. She's like, well, how would you describe yourself, really? Like, what kind of person are you? And, of course, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not going to steal from you, but that's probably an answer that she's looking for.
Yeah, they're probably trying to see who's coming in their house.
Right. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to overcharge you. I'm not looking to make a lot of money because if I was, I wouldn't be doing what I do.
Right.
Okay? So I'm going to fix this lady's ass. Watch this. I'm going to fix her. So I'm like, well, all I can think of that comes to my mind is I'll tell you a story. I said, you got time for a story? And she's like, yeah. All right. And she could see, like, I'm getting a little wacky on her now because I'm going to tell her a freaking story. She's like, what is coming up? So I said I had a couple, an older couple, that I cleaned for a long time. I said, and, they were, I want to say, not in the best of, shape to move around or whatever. And it was kind of interesting because the husband sat over there and the wife sat over here and the TV was right here, and they would just talk to each other back and forth. And of course he would hit me in the ass with his cane when I go by all the time, and I'd be like, you need to cut that shit right out. All right, but she would laugh, he would laugh. It was a laugh. Everything was a laugh at my expense. So I remember one day I was cleaning in the kitchen, and of course the kitchen, I could oversee them. And the wife said to the husband, well, I really miss, our house when we used to have the big Christmas tree and all that kind of stuff. It was wintertime. And I'm listening to this shit, and I'm like, wow, that just pulled something, like, right there, but I just went on. So I did them every other week, I remember this. And I'm telling this lady, just like I'm telling you. Said, so that afternoon, I was like, well, if I got to work, I'm going to stop at one of those freaking, like, Family Dollar things or something. And I want to see what they have for, like, a little tree. And I want it to be all decorated and everything like that. So we'll see what they got. And I know I'm going to get yelled at. I know I am, because I'm spending my own money. And these older people do not want you to spend their own money on anything. So I found something, and it was cute. It was a little tabletop thing about this big. They had to put the ornaments on. It was already lit. It was beautiful, right? All right. So I go over there. I'm all excited. I bring it in. And I unwrapped it, and there was like, I don't know, maybe 12 ornaments or something, of little candy canes, right? So I had to take the tree up, freaking put her candy cane on, right? I got a patience for this shit. In the morning, put a candy cane on, I go bring it over here, put his candy cane on, I go back and forth until we get it all decorated. And there's a little table next to her. She wanted it to sit right there. So we lit that bitch up, and oh my God, Michelle, the look on these people's freaking eyes just blew my mind. And this was a $15 tree, which is probably like a $35 tree now, right? All right? $15 tree. She's like all choked up. They're all choked up. So the tree stayed up, right? So what happens is, I remember it was after Christmas, obviously. And it was like January, after little Epiphany shit. So after January 6th, right? So I'm like, oh, do you want me to bring the tree in? Oh, no. We want to leave it up just a little bit longer. I don't give a shit. It's your house. I don't care. I go around and clean. Whatever. So now we're in February. And I'm like, all right, hey, listen, we're going to start to see freaking, spring shit come up. You want this up? What do you want to do? So she's like, the next time you come. All right. So I go over the next time. And she's like, well, we discussed, we don't want you to put the tree in our spare room. So what are you talking about? I said, I bought it for you. What the hell? I'm going to, put it in a box. I'm going to put it in the spare room. No. We don't want you to do that. Now I'm pissed. Now I'm starting to think, well, what the hell is wrong with these people? They didn't like it? What's going on? So they're like, no, dear, we want you to take the tree. And I was like, why? For what? I have real trees. I don't need this little thing. And she's like, well, no, because you have to make a promise to us that every year you put this tree up and you think of us. Well, at that point, I was like, where are we going?
How old were they?
They were in their late 80s, right? Needless to say, that was his last Christmas.
Aww.
So as I'm, finishing the story, I look over at this client who asked me this dumbass question to begin with, okay? And I'm like now freaking being smart, right? And she's completely crying.
Aww.
Because she was so touched by this story. And I told her, I said, every year I put the tree up. It's been probably a good 20 years since I've seen them and since they've, I've cleaned for them. They're both gone now. Yeah. But every year I put that tree up. Aww. I said, and I fight with myself after January 6th. Should I leave it up? Should I take it down? After all that time. So this bitch I fixed her ass. She's crying. She steps out. She comes back and she can't even freaking speak. And she's like, you can start next week, right? And that was the end of the conversation. I've been doing her for probably a good 9 years now.
Wow.
But so there is pluses and, there is good stuff and there's funny as hell shit. I mean, I can go on all day with freaking funny shit, but oh my God. But, so that's something that I think, doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I remember those kinds of things. Yeah. I don't know if you had any of them. Do you get any of those kinds of people like, take this, Michelle?
Oh, yes.
Take it.
Take it. It'll remind you of me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have a couple things from clients that I had one client. She's so sweet. It was actually it was one of my friend's mom and dad. She was painter. The mother. She would paint like little canvases.
Oh yeah, like one of those kinds of painters. Yeah.
So she actually did like an ocean theme.
Mm-hmm.
I have that actually.
And when you look at it, you think of them.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you do. You know what? There's people. Everybody wants love, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, regardless.
Right.
And so.
And everyone wants to be heard too. And I've always said
everybody, that. Yeah, everybody wants to feel connected to somebody. Mm-hmm. And when you do find people that are wonderful like that.
Right. Well, then
you get that connection, and you.
Right. You're not just the house cleaner. You're not just a realtor. You're not just a painter. You're not just.
Right. You're more.
You're actually a human being at that point. Right. And I think before those kinds of things happen, you forget that. You almost feel like you're a machine sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like just.
Because there's a lot of people that it's a transaction.
Yeah.
I'm here to do something for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You were great. Whatever. Thank you for doing whatever. And.
Yep.
I try to keep in touch with everybody.
It's hard though, man. Cause
it is hard. But
after all those years,
people that you do connect. It's a stronger connection.
Yeah, but I have people that I've done for years and years ago who will still check in once a year or something like that to see if I'm still alive or whatever. That's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
But time goes so quick, you lose track that you can't just sit there and text every single freaking person that gave you something from within. You can't do it. It's impossible, But the funny people, the ones who pull the funny shit, they sometimes stick around longer for some reason or another. Hey, remember when I did that? I don't care to remember, but I do. Stuff like that. Like I said, the people that chase you down the freaking driveway with the freaking, bedding or sheets or whatever. Those people, there's a couple of them, they still keep in touch sometimes. How you doing? Fine, now that you're not chasing me. Stuff like that. I'll bust their chaps back, But like I said, Michelle, this is why we do what we do. We freaking enjoy it so much and love it so much.
I think we're as much as we both say we don't like people, we really like people.
Yeah, my clients hear me say that all the time. I hate people, and they start laughing. Yeah. Once they get to know me, they're like, yeah, you do.
We are people. We are people.
Yeah, we're people-y.
We're people-y. We like people. But you know what? There are people that grate on your nerves. I've had clients that I'm like, yeah, we're closed, have a nice life.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be that way, but, some people are just cranky.
Well, when I start going off on them, then they change their tune anyway, because then they're like, oh, this chick is not fooling around.
We're not taking it.
This chick is not fooling around. What are we going to do with this one? We got a live wire here now.
Yeah, well, there's no reason for people to act that way, but, every once in a while you'll get that. It's just
Well, too, Michelle, your, line of work, you have to be a little bit more, on the professional side. Me, on the other hand, if somebody pisses me off, I'm going to tell them.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I don't care. Like, what are we doing? And I'll say it in a way that they start laughing. But they also know.
True. I have to tell you, though. I never had to yell at a client ever in my life.
I don't yell at people. I just tell them no.
Well, I've never had to. Mm-hmm. But this year I did.
Oh, my God.
I did.
What are we going to do? You better go to freaking church, man. Pray that sucker off.
Because this person was so anxious.
Oh.
About something that I'm like, listen.
Do you have anxiety or something? Because that's a new thing,
yeah,
too.
I think
Excuse me, I have anxiety. Okay, get over it.
Listen, I have empathy for that. I have empathy for that. But when I'm telling you how something has to be done, I'm not making this up just because I want it done that way.
Stop it, Michelle. I thought you wanted to hear yourself talk. Come on now.
I just want to hear myself talk.
You do. I know you do.
But you know what I mean? Like, so I actually had to, because he was going they were on and on and on, and I was like, listen. Like, I had to stop him and yell on the phone. Yell.
Yes.
And I was like, you're not listening to me.
I live for this
Look,
shit.
you know what? I always try to listen to whatever my clients needs and wants. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing the best that I can for you, whatever. But if you're not listening to my answer or my advice to what the problem is and the scenario and how to fix it, we have a problem.
Right. We have a problem. Anxiety
and that. Just respect what I'm saying to you. Just be quiet for a minute and let me say something. Maybe it will help you if you just listen.
Right.
But, so yeah, that was the first time.
But
that was the first
time.
Okay, so you
said listen.
In 23 years, I think.
You said listen.
Well, I said listen, and then I had to tell him whatever.
Right, okay, but you yelled listen. Are you going to be all right?
But I yelled. I was like...
Are you going to be all right? You got to hear what happens when I start yelling.
But I don't like to do that. I don't
like to do it either, Michelle, but everybody finds it quite amusing. Quite amusing. If they've got freaking, they're hung up on stupid shit. We have a whole house to do. But we want to worry about this one crack in the floor. And I've got to hear about it. I have to come off the ladder. I have to go look at the crack for the 85th time. Okay? Because of their whatever anxiety bullshit that they have on top of the Alzheimer's that's going on or whatever they're doing.
One thing.
Because they took too many fucking pills. I don't know. But I'm like, here we are, right here. You see this little crack right here? This is what I get. You see this little crack? I can't sell the house like this.
Yeah.
So now this is what I walk away. The first time I walk away. I've literally done this. I've looked at them. I've said, okay.
I can see you do that.
I've taken my rag out of my thing. I've started going into the kitchen. I'm washing my shit up. Put my coat on. Where are you going? I can't paint this house with that floor.
You did not.
Yes, I did. How am I supposed to make this better for you? The whole house is ruined now. All the work that I'm fucking doing for you because of that one little crack in that floor, the house is not going to sell. Call whoever it is. Call your realtor. Call whatever. Tell them the deal is off.
Oh my goodness.
And what happens is they stop for a minute and they're like, this chick is crazy. So now they're not crazy anymore. I'm crazy. So now they're listening to me. Oh,
that's a good trick.
Right, but they're like, oh, do you think I should leave that alone? Am I talking a different language? That's what I say to them. Am I talking a different language right now? Leave the fucking crack the way it is. Listen, if somebody comes to your house right now and says, did you see that crack? They need to go. They need to go. If the realtor says that to you, you need to find a new realtor. And that's the end of the story. So, what happens is, Michele, is the house that I have been in, they don't talk about that crack anymore. That crack is fine. It's staying like that. And matter of fact, the person comes up and says, you are not going to believe it. I said, what? We found a whole packet of the tile in the back of the freaking house. Great. Let's put that downstairs. Because if they want to replace it, they can. Because you and I both know they're either going to leave the crack alone for the first 5 years or whatever, or they're going to put laminate over it or something. Something more modern. What are we doing? But don't you dare call me off of this ladder 10 times to go look at this thing about this size. I got shit to do. And that's a true story.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. So I would not feel bad about yelling at anybody. But that's how I would yell at them. That's how I would yell at them.
Keep going off the screen.
I'm sorry, I put my cup down. Relax, put your seatbelt down. All right, so that's my idea of yelling in a nice way. In a very nice way. I'll do it for the first 3 times. They want me to go look at that. But after the 3rd time, I'm done. I'm done. And I explained very nicely, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. We could sell the house.
People don't hear. When you say don't worry about it, they're still worried about it.
Right. But then when you keep coming back and I'm still saying it, now I got to make a statement now. Now my anxiety is going through the roof. Here we are. This is it. I'm done. So sure enough, after they realized that they were being idiots, I come back in and freaking start painting again, and life is good. Never heard about the freaking crack once. And I walked out the door, it was done. It's the way of the world, Michele, I'm telling you. It's a little whatever you call it, reverse psychology bullshit or something.
Yeah, that's reverse psychology.
Like, why are we worried about that?
People get stuck up on little things. Like the major things, it's like...
Right, exactly. Oh, you don't have a permit on this? But let's worry about that little freaking crack right there. Well, let me tell you something. That crack is nothing compared to what you're going to be paying for that permit, dumbass. But I don't say that. But, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Right, and I get questions like that, too. Like, oh, well, how much do you think this permit is going to run? I love this.
You're like, I'm not here for that.
I'm like, first of all, I'm not whoever at the town or the city, wherever you're going. And second of all, I'm not your freaking realtor, okay? I don't get paid the big bucks like any of these people do. So therefore, go talk to them. You're talking to the wrong schmuck here. You're talking to the wrong schmuck. I'm just putting the color on the wall and making it look pretty. Yep, that's what happens, Michele. You get stupid questions. Stupid.
Yeah, but I get stupid questions, too.
Yes, but hopefully you get questions in your field. You want to talk to me about how this color looks? We'll talk about it. But don't come and talk to me about how much a permit's going to be.
So when people ask me stuff like that, because they do ask me questions about, they watch HGTV.
They should.
Right, but they watch HGTV and they're
HGTV. I love those people. I love the people who watch that. I saw that somebody made their ceiling blue. What do you think? If you want to feel like when you're laying in bed that you are on the bottom of the YWCA pool, then let me tell you something. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. And I've actually done it. Michele. I've made this whole thing blue. Finished the whole freaking room. I don't like it. I know. What happened? I went to bed and you were right. I feel like I'm in the bottom of a pool. I'm drowning. And I said, I'm drowning more. Nobody's saving me. Nobody's saving me. So sure enough, they got to pay more money because they saw it on HGTV. Now I got to cover the freaking thing. This is what I'm saying. That's why I get chased with all these things, okay? And they get these ideas. You watch that channel? Don't watch that channel?
No. Okay. I used to love HGTV.
I did
years ago,
too.
20-something years ago. I cannot stand to watch it. Only because, first of all, I don't want to watch people showing houses.
Right. Wow.
I can't stand that. I'm like, oh, this is so boring.
Right, like those other shows there that they do.
Right. Or it's like, it's not real or whatever.
Right, Love It or Listed and
Yeah.
all that bullshit.
So I don't watch any of that. But when I do get these people that come in and I go in the house, I'm like, what can we do? And I said, well, because I have a team of people, like when I used to do it without having anybody help me,
Yeah.
I would give them advice on what to do because I know how to do all this stuff.
Right. Yes, you're very handy.
But I don't let people on that I am that way.
You shouldn't, because they're going to be like, Michelle, can you come over and do this, that, and the other thing? And then you're going to be sitting just like me.
Well,
You're going to be sitting just like me. Look at that crack on the floor.
Right, but I would fix the crack. I would be the one to fix the crack.
Okay, get out.
But anyway, the point is...
You're the realtor. You don't
Right,
care about the crack.
No, but the thing is, like, I do care about what they care about. However, when I don't tell them, because I try to stay in my lane, right? Because I have been busy. So I don't have time for that anymore. Like, there was a time when I used to be able to...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Have more time to do more things.
Right.
But this is what, as I've gotten bigger, I have a team now.
Right.
Right?
And a
So-
team it is. Let me tell you. It's a
And the
team of
team-
something. I don't freaking know what the hell it is, but
But
it's
the
some kind of team.
makes the dream work. So I
The
deflect...
teamwork makes the dream work. Hold on, I have to go home and get my freaking pom-poms so I can sit here and freaking cheer. Oh my God.
So, regardless of that, little pom-pom, it does work, though, because I deflect all those questions and all those things, and I say, listen, I have people for this.
Right, so you send the morons with the questions over my way, which I love that.
I wouldn't call them morons.
And then it stops, because there's no place for it to go. It's up to you. Once you send them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Right. Well, tag, you're it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
you
called
do-
the support group that we have going on. Women power, whatever. Let me pass over this one to you. Okay, thanks, Michelle. I'm your biggest fan, baby. I know you're mine too. But you ain't
Yes,
hearing.
but it works. It works well. You get business, I get business, and
The clients are happy.
the clients love it.
They're happy.
They love it.
They love it. They don't want me to leave.
They love you.
They don't want me to leave. I'm like, I have to go. And then I blame you. Michelle's got so much shit going on right now. I gotta go.
Believe me.
I do. You got a problem with it? You talk to her. Don't worry. I'll come back and see you
But
before
they
you
love
move.
you because you care about the clients.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is why our team works so well.
Yeah. Even though I pick on them. And now a lot of them pick on me too.
Oh, I heard all about it.
Yeah.
I've
But
been
that's
hearing
fine.
that- I've
It's
been
all
hearing
good.
about
It's
it.
all good.
It is
It's
good.
all good. We have fun. They get to laugh.
And you know what? Because it's such a stressful... Listen, when you're listing your
Yes.
house...
It's overwhelming. It's stressful. I tell them that all the time. They concentrate on the crack and that's it. They don't see the whole big picture. It gets crazy, people. It does.
And when you're stressed out trying to list your house and you're trying to do all this stuff and you don't know what to do, you're not sure what
Even
should
moving
I
in,
keep?
even buying it.
Right.
Same thing.
Right. Or what should I keep? What do I get rid of? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I deflect to her.
Of course. And then
Because Dawn does more than painting. Dawn does a lot of stuff for my clients.
psychological help for free, advice.
Free
for
therapy.
Yes.
I
All
do that
kind
too,
of-
though. I do that too.
Yeah.
Clients, I do that too. But like in the nitty gritty of people having to do stuff in their property. Seriously.
Yeah.
In the nitty gritty of all the dust that has to be moved and everything. You're in there doing it. Like
I'm in there, I'm doing it, I'm weed whacking, I'm trimming bushes, I'm freaking laying down mulch. I'll give you a freaking dollar store yardstick and we're good to go. Michelle, come put the sign up.
and it works.
And it
we've
works.
gotten people how much more money because of that.
Right, because it needs that little touch, that little
Yes.
sense of some crazy person going in there and giving it that touch. Michelle can be the nice one and I'll be the nutty one. That's usually what it comes down to, I think. Right, Michelle? I mean, they're all like, oh, I love Michelle. She's wonderful. You, on the other hand. That's how they bust my chops. You, on the
Well,
other
they told me
hand,
that they
you're
called you.
absolutely insane. Thank you.
But they love you. They come back to me and tell me that.
Well, not only that, they'll tell me right there, do you have to go? You better talk to boss lady over here. Michelle's problem right now.
Yeah, but because you are personable with them.
Yeah.
And they get used to you being around. And you help them. You genuinely care. This is what I'm saying. We genuinely care about our clients.
Some of these people just really need turbo up their ass. I mean, we're like, no, it's true. They're sitting there and they're playing games on their phone. These are not young people either. Okay? Playing games on their phone. We have shit in every room piled up from ceiling to floor. So, what are we doing? It's time to get motivated. It's time to, well, I can't walk. I don't give a shit if you can't walk. We're going to plop your ass right in that room. And I'm going to bring you what you need.
But you do motivate people. Like, I know you're being sarcastic.
No,
you're being
right,
funny.
but
seriously, you do care. And you have helped. You have, and you actually do get people motivated to do stuff. To actually, the thing is, like, look.
It's called the miracle worker. The miracle workers of the nut jobs.
You have a gift.
It's a gift. Oh, it's a gift, all right, Michelle. It's a gift.
But you have a gift with that. Like, I have a gift with certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get the ball. I can get the clients. I can get started. I know what to do. I have the team. I will pass off things to you. Mm-hmm. You have a gift and a way with when I know what needs to be done.
Right,
but
and
for
you
me
just
to
are
sit
afraid.
there and
you're afraid. You're afraid. Michelle's like, I don't want to tell them to get rid of their shit. So can you? Like, can you tell them that their shit has to be out of the house?
Okay, wait a second.
So there's a halo here, and there's the devil thorns over here. She's gotta go get that. She's gotta tell them to get that shit out.
So I get Dawn to do it. But no, the point is though, seriously. Sometimes they won't listen to me as the real, because I'm the realtor. I'm the one dealing with the finance stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I'm the one dealing with the big transaction.
Right.
So I have all this to do. I'm the one that's in the middle of them and the attorney.
Right.
I'm the one in the middle of them with the bank or the appraiser, whatever's happening. I am that person.
Yep.
So they
when you throw me in the mix, they're like, "Oh,
so I throw Dawn.
What just happened?"
But when I throw you in, like, you take it and you don't just do like if somebody needs to have their house painted, it's not just about having their house painted.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, I do the consultation. Even whether they're buying or selling, whatever they're doing. Let's go through the colors. If you're buying, you have to know what kind of colors you want.
Yes, but you go beyond that.
Right. If you're selling, let's stay neutral. Right. No, we don't want pink.
Right, but
we don't want hot pink in this bedroom.
No, good God.
Michelle will have my head if I put hot pink in this bedroom.
I will. Truly.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. We get those kinds of...
But see, I can't be the one to say that, is what I'm saying.
I have no problem.
But people won't take it from me that way.
Right.
Because they see me in this profession this way.
Right, like, what are you doing?
So then they'll be like, what is, They don't know my background as far as what I do. I don't tell people, like I told you before, I don't tell people what I've done and what I do. They don't know what I do. So
they don't need to know. It's not their business.
Right. But I stand back and just say, here's the professional that does this.
And they're looking at me going, that's the professional?
But you are the professional.
Right. But they're like,
You're good at it. You know what people like. You know what the modern look is. You know what people are looking for that can sell the house. Mm-hmm. For the most money, you know what they're looking for.
Yes. And then, of course, I've had clients and viewers that would be like, well, do you think I need to freaking rip up this rug? This one. I don't want to lift this rug up at all. All right, then don't lift it up. That's what I said to him. Don't lift it up. Well, I was told I had to lift it up. Don't lift it up if you don't want to lift it up. I'm busy. What do you need? Well, you think there's another way that we could, make it look better? Uh-huh. There is. I said it's probably cheaper than lifting it up, too. So my example was, why don't we get a commercial freaking carpet cleaner in here? And...
that works.
Let's freaking tell them we have cat piss from somebody who rented from before, and we need some heavy-duty commercial shit to go on these rugs. I don't know. It's got to be cheaper than lifting up all these rugs and replacing them. So sure enough, bam, this is with the route we go. I didn't have to try that hard. I just made a suggestion, and I continued on with my business. Next thing you know, he's telling me, I got somebody in there to come in there and do the commercial carpeting. Good for you. I don't give a shit. But he's happy because he didn't want to change the rugs. That was the whole point.
Right. And they don't have to, as long as they look presentable, like a fresh shampoo on them or whatever.
Right. But he was looking for somebody to, I think, help him.
Make a decision.
Right, go around the corner and get something done without doing that. That's what I think people are looking for sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want
Right,
to...
because we do make suggestions on things. Look, if you have...
I don't.
I do.
I mean, I do if they ask me.
Right, but I will say, if people ask me a question,
Yeah.
you know, like, there's tricks to, like, interior design stuff, too, right? Like, if you have the same flooring throughout everywhere, it makes the place look bigger, right?
Right.
So, I'm not saying you have to do all your floors, but if you keep them clean them.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
make them look presentable. Like, if they're hardwood floors that are scuffed up and stuff, you gotta put, like, urethane and stuff on them. You gotta
Like that one that was freaking, this floors was a disaster, and I freaking went in there and freaking redid them all. What's them called? Over on,
in Poughkeepsie, right?
Yeah, at Poughkeepsie.
Yeah. And you made them look great, but they weren't re-urethane. You used some other kind of...
Yeah, I used that rejuvenate or whatever, because there was nobody living there. But don't get me wrong, I mean, there's people who have money that they don't care. So, if, let's just say, they didn't care for a doer the way it was or whatever, hey, you want to go out and buy a new one, go ahead. And they do.
Right.
You know? Most of the time, though, it's the ones who are selling, you know, the house, not moving into the house, because they already have given up all their money.
Right.
So they're looking at me like, well, what can we do to make this look better without spending this, that, and the other thing?
Right.
Whereas the people who are selling are like, some of them will be like, I need to make this better because if they were renting it, it looked like shit, whatever. They'll spend the money.
Well, not only that, the people that are selling, if you have the money and you want to make more money, then if you put a little money into it to make it look more presentable, you're going to make a heck of a lot more money.
Well, that's what I say to them all the time. Look, dude, and Judette, you are going to make more money off of me than I'm going to make off of you. I can guarantee this. And I have not been wrong yet.
No, you have not.
So, you know, I mean, I'm not going to suggest something stupid.
No.
That doesn't, it's not
We're
necessarily...
not going to spend people's money unnecessarily.
No.
Not at all.
And for me, and that particular incident where, do I rip the rugs up or do I find another way to do it? That was the most economical way for him to go.
Right, and some people, maybe they don't have the money to do something.
Oh,
so
yeah,
there are
right.
ways around, you know, putting in new flooring.
Yeah. Well, he had the money, he just didn't want to. And that was the whole point. He did not want to rip up rugs. So I heard him loud and clear. I'm like, all right, brother, I don't know what to tell you, but maybe we could do this and then you'll be happy. And that's how we did it. Because I told him, in all honesty, when I walk in the door to start painting here, it's empty. Yes, great. But I smell the cats as if they were still living here.
Oh, that was the rental.
Yeah, as if they were still living here. So we need to work on that problem. And an air freshener is not going to do it.
Yeah. Like the few things that irk me as a real estate agent, when I go into a place and it has a smell, that's a turn off. If it turns me off, and I do this, I go in houses all the time.
Right. You better hope to God their noses ain't working like yours.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Because my buyers are going to be like, you know, I mean, people don't realize cats, smoke.
Yep. Yep.
Dogs.
And I love the ones who would be like, oh, it'll be all right. We're just going to go buy a couple of air fresheners and put them around.
That doesn't...
I come back the next day. There's like 30 freaking air fresheners all over the house open. Well, they'll never know you have an odor problem ever.
They'll never know.
What'd you do? Buy out the dollar store? What are we doing?
It's funny you say that. I was showing a house to a young couple recently. And I went in the house. And same thing. I smelled like these things. And I was like, they're masking something here.
That's the whole thing. They're masking the whole house.
We actually got the offer on the property. We had the inspection. When the inspector came, there was mold in the house.
Of course. Well, at this particular one that I was talking about, it wasn't mold. It was the animals and the smoke, right?
But I'm saying, like...
Right, but that's a sign.
You can always tell. If somebody's if somebody's going in... I've done this plenty of times. When I go into a house and I know that there's, like... They're putting, like, some kind of cleaner somewhere, or they're doing something, and put those things around to smell, which they stink.
I don't even think you were selling this one. Literally, there must have been 30 to 50 of these freaking odor eater blaster bullshit things around. I'm like, I couldn't even think straight. My sinuses clogged right the hell up because I'm like, everywhere I turn, they're all over the place. What's going on? And they were like, "Well, we just put a couple." I looked at them, a couple. I said, "Why is there 35 here? What are we doing in every single room?"
It's horrible.
You can't do that. It's a red flag for those people who are going to come and buy the house, and the realtor knows it. So you better remove some of them.
Yeah. Like, people think that they're doing that, I've been in houses where you go in the basement and the walls are painted and you're like,
yeah,
why did they paint the walls?
Yeah.
A lot of times they're just hiding mold or something down there.
Or a lot of times I've been there and gotten the mold out. That's why I am the way I am. And then there we go. Everything's painted, but I've done many of them.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Or some people do that though, Michelle. I get it though. There's that musty smell in basements anyway to begin with.
Right. Use a dehumidifier.
Right. They don't want to do that.
There's other ways to do it.
They don't want to do that.
You have to get the water out.
They've got mothballs, man. They've got they got everything but humidifiers. It doesn't smell in here.
But the proper way is to get the water out. The water is in the air. You have to get you have to use a dehumidifier to get that out. That's right.
To tell me, I tell these people all the freaking time, but they're looking at me like, "Why? It smells fine in here."
Well, they're used to it. They're used to the way their house smells.
Right then, I'm like, "This is what makes you who you are. This is what makes you who you are right now, because you've been living here too long like this. It's killed all the brain cells in your freaking head." That's exactly what I'm thinking. Holy shit. Right? Oh, no, I don't smell it at all. Well, let me just give you a little bit of advice. I do. And I'm not just saying that, just to say that. Oh. Well, what do you recommend? We get rid of it? We get a dehumidifier? We get something? Listen, a little tree is not going to do it. The little tree air freshener, I love that. Let's hang a little tree. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. They put that in closets. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, but this is for the whole freaking basement. One little tree is going to take care of that whole thing.
I know.
Do you see what this mold is doing to your head? Do you see what this mold has done? This is your brain on mold. Okay? One little tree. One little tree for this whole freaking 825 square foot basement. One tree is going to take care of it.
This is your brain on mold.
That's right. Oh, my God.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah.
Sometimes it just makes me wonder what's going on with the world right now.
Wow.
I would do this, Michelle. I would not hang a little tree.
One thing doesn't do it. I mean, even that one dampered stuff, that dampered that you can hang?
Yeah.
Hang one and think that's going to do it.
No.
Well, you have a water problem here.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And then, then the little critters that come in, they like to live in that kind of stuff, too. Yeah. Like to live in that. By the way, what is this trap over here? Oh, we don't have a problem. Then why is it here? Are you trying to catch something else? What are we doing? Somebody else living here that I don't know about?
Yeah.
Bro. Oh, no, we don't have a problem at all. All right. We'll just leave that there. Let the viewer see that.
Yeah.
Please.
Let's see the rat trap and see.
Right. They don't see nothing, though. They're just like, "Oh, no, we don't have a problem."
There's nothing wrong.
All right. Well, you better be charging them rent. That's what I tell them. You better be charging that son of a bitch rent, because that's a big trap. It's a big trap right there.
Bad boy?
And if I see it, I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Totally on that one. Agree on that one.
Ooh, I had a realtor once, Michelle, in a ranch. It was a ranch, but it had like a cross piece freaking underneath. I don't know what the hell it was. And I had a person with me. This is way before I knew you. This realtor was a freaking whack. Okay, she's like, "Want you to go under this house."
Under the house?
Yep. Because it needs to be cleaned out with the cobwebs. Now, mind you, I get over there. I didn't even look at the job. I get over there, and I go down this, cellar thing. But once I open the door, it's all, dirt. Right? It's all dirt. That's it. And there's, concrete blocks above me, and maybe, some wood rafters or whatever. The person that I'm with is yelling at me. "Get the fuck out of there, I can't see." Right? It's dark as hell. I got my freaking phone. And I see. This house is long. And I can't stand up. It's like this.
Crawl space, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not, Michelle. There's nothing under it. It's dirt.
Yeah.
Well, you need to get the cobwebs out. Well, I got almost maybe to the halfway point, And I got the other one yelling at me to get the hell out because she's done. It's creeping her out, right? I see this big-ass thing run by. Don't know what it was. Don't know.
Oh, my God.
Don't know if it was a raccoon, rat, whatever, but they were busy in there. Hit my head, of course, because, you know, I tried to, like...
I would have been so out.
Oh, yeah. Hit my head, tried to turn around. I get back, I'm to the, like, almost to the end. I looked around, and I'm like, there is not one freaking cobweb in this freaking place.
Why did they make you go under there?
And why? Honestly, who the fuck gives a shit right now at this point? If there is a cobweb here,
I don't.
What are you putting here?
Yeah.
What are you gonna throw in there? A rake? I wouldn't.
Nothing.
Whatever's in there is gonna eat it. Whatever you put in there, it's gonna eat. It's gonna take it with it. It's gonna start raking its own house.
Whatever that thing is.
Oh boy. So I got in the car and I'm like, I can't do this job. I'm sorry. There's no need for this job. This job is not even close to needing to be done.
Here's my question.
That was the last time I heard from that realtor. Don't call me again, because if you haven't seen it yourself, you don't know what you're asking me to do.
Great, but wait a second. Who the heck cares about cobwebs in a crawl space?
The animals that live down there.
Yes. Snakes under there. Like,
they could have been.
Oh,
and this was in the
that you went in there.
This was in the, like, peak of summer, so it was hotter than a crotch. I'm down there. The girl that I'm with is freaking out. All right? I don't even know why she got her camera with the freaking light on, because she's out there.
Doesn't go that far.
Right. I'm like, where are you shining this?
Wow.
Where the hell are you shining this?
Yeah.
I'm here. That's what she says. I'm here. Be happy. You're all the way up there. You're never going to save my ass if something come out here. Damn. I already hit my head. I'm pissed. Let me get out of here. Called that realtor right up. Forgot her name. I called her up. I was like, oh, hells no. No. This does not need to be done. Shut the door, the little door that's there or whatever, and don't even show that part of the house, because there's something living in there. She's like, oh, really? I said,
get an exterminator.
Right. She's like, well, what do you think it is? Whatever it is big, lady, but I'm out of here. I don't know what it is. Tell the people that it's big.
Oh my God.
This is the kind of shit. See, all realtors are not created equal. I'm telling you right now. And she did not even go to look at this. She just thought, oh, I'm close by. I could go take a peek at this.
Who would care about cobwebs down in a crawl space?
The next time I get a call like that, I'm going to send them to the freaking person who's looking at the little crack in the floor.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Well, we just came full circle here.
They get along beautifully together.
Well, on that note.
Yep. But I think we're good. I think we're good with everything we wanted to touch base on tonight.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys hung out. I'm glad you hung out, Michelle. I'm always loving hanging out with you. What else do you want to do? Listen, I don't know. Freaking ask us questions. You probably can do that on this thing, can't you?
Yeah. If you have any questions you want us to answer.
Right, or you want any, like, topics or whatever for us to freaking discuss? We'll do that too. You tell us. We're here for you. Right?
Yes.
We're
here for you.
Right. Let's get your house on.
Let's get your house on. Well, that was a wrap.
That's it.